In the beginning of creation, you created all these moving and non-moving living entities by your inconceivable energy. Through this very same energy, you are now prepared to protect the living entities. Indeed, you are the supreme protector of religious principles. Why are you so anxious to kill me, even though I am in the form of a cow? Purport. The planet Earth argues that there is no doubt that one who creates can also annihilate by his sweet will. The planet Earth questions why she should be killed when the Lord is prepared to give protection to everyone. After all, it is the Earth that is the resting place for all other living entities, and it is the Earth that produces grain for them. Translation one more time. In the beginning of creation, you created all these moving and non-moving living entities by your inconceivable energy. Through this very same energy, you are now prepared to protect the living entities. Indeed, you are the supreme protector of religious principles. Why are you so anxious to kill me, even though I am in the form of a cow? Oh. So we're continuing to speak about Prithu Maharaj and Mother Earth. So here Mother Earth is speaking. It's the incident when Prithu Maharaj caught her. He was chasing after Mother Earth because she didn't give any grain. So now he caught her and she's speaking, she's addressing him. So you see her appeal is that you're the protector of everyone and I have taken the form of a cow. So why do you want to kill me? And in our own life, this can be quite nicely applied, because here you see the Mother Earth. She is a demigoddess, so she has the position. She's in that sense special. So we as devotees were also very special to Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he's equal to everyone, but the one who is his devotee, he is very dear to Krishna. He's very special. So here we see that sometimes we feel also that we're special. So Krishna loves me, and therefore I can do so many things which are extraordinary, and sometimes even break the rules, because, well, Krishna will understand. And this is actually not the case, as you see here. Mother Earth, yes, she, as it says here in the purport, that she is the shelter of all living entities, because she upholds them, she gives grains, and she gives actually everything we're living on earth. But so she does very nice service, and we also do our service, and very nicely. But then if we don't perform our duties, our service nicely, you see, we will get the reactions for that. It's not that I can do whatever I want, and then, well, you know, Krishna will forgive, or it doesn't matter, we're devotees. So it actually matters what we do. It's not only that we chant and we follow the principles, and the rest of the day it doesn't matter, I'm a devotee. And therefore, you can see here, it is very important to stick to our service and our duties. And it differs for everybody, service and duties. Depends on our ashram, of course. Brahmacharis, they have their duties, and also grihastas their own duties, and they're completely, well, not completely, but quite different and of course vanaprasthas and sannyasis, their duties are different, and also differs on the basis of our position or on our occupation, varna. And the demigoddess, as you see here, she is in a position of provider, and also in that sense she can take care of the citizens or the living entities, or she sometimes cannot do that, or she doesn't want to do that. So therefore, she also, when she did wrong, then Prithu Maharaj was ready to punish her. And also, when devotees, as devotees, we also sometimes we do something wrong, and we get a reaction for that. For sure, we will. Of course, the reaction is different. In the beginning, we're not so knowledgeable. We're quite ignorant of the process. So Krishna doesn't take it so seriously. Sometimes our offenses or something in the etiquette or in the cleanliness goes wrong. Well, Krishna doesn't see that. But when we get knowledge, when we advance, then Krishna expects that we take responsibility. And for our wrongdoing, we will get a response. But it's quite different. It's not that directly we get our karmic reaction. It looks like it, that devotee does something and then it's our karma. Actually, it's Krishna's arrangement. It's totally his arrangement, because what he wants to do, he wants to teach us. You see, our goal is to become Krishna conscious, and at some time we want to, at the end of this life, hopefully, we want to go back to Krishna. So we need to be trained. We need to be trained in that consciousness of being a devotee of the Lord, of having the same mood. So to adjust our consciousness, Krishna does these things. If we do something, then Krishna reciprocates. So, so it's not our karma anymore, it's Krishna. But it's very nice, actually, that Krishna takes care. It's actually the reciprocation of Krishna. It's the most precious thing. Sometimes we see things as, well, this happened to me and it was very bad, or this happened to me, it was very nice because, well, I got some enjoyment out of this. So sometimes we see things like this, but actually a devotee who is very advanced, he or she sees things, everything which happens, he or she sees as a mercy of the Lord. And also here the position of Mother Earth, she is a demigoddess. So also demigods, their consciousness is mixed. They're devotees, but they're neophytes. So they sometimes do something which has devotion, but sometimes something goes a little bit wrong, as you see with Indra. Indra is quite famous of doing something which goes out of the border, and he gets heavy punishment, but then Krishna always corrects his mentality. So because also we have our consciousness is also in our consciousness we have some disqualifications. then Krishna corrects us. And also the position of Earth, Mother Earth, is that she has some influence, she has some power. So and then you see her responsibility is more than some other person's responsibility. So also in the devotional life, when we take responsibility more than others, then it's we have to be qualified. It's again the same point that when we are in the beginning, we have our limits due to our conditioning, and we are attached. As long as we have attachment, we are not pure devotees, we have attachment to our body, it means that there will be some cases where we will make the wrong decisions, where our attachment will lead us. So therefore, according to our conditioning, we should also take our service and our occupational duties, and it's also very important. Therefore, Varnashram Dharma is giving to us. It's not that it's a burden or it's something which can bind us. And if I'm a Shudra, then I'm the lowest, and then it's a big shame. So then everybody just, disrespects me. No, it just means that this is our conditioning. Actually, well, there is all different conditionings, and it means that in every varna there are all own responsibilities, and and we have to perform them. It doesn't mean that for brahmanas and kshatriyas it's easier. No, as you see here, Mother Earth, when she does something wrong, Prithu Maharaj is chasing her. If somebody who doesn't have that kind of position does something wrong, it doesn't affect so many people. It doesn't affect so much. It's just some mistake. But therefore, especially the leaders of the society, then they have to be qualified, and because their mistakes, they can reflect on so many others. Well, here Mother Earth doesn't want to give rain, so everybody is hungry. Everybody, so there is a heavy punishment. Actually, Prithu Maharaj is chasing her to kill her. Can you imagine that? So it's quite serious. So therefore, it goes first that we should become qualified. And in our actions, in our dealings, there are actually 5 levels of consciousness. And due to those ones, we act. So the lowest one is anamoy. It means just the platform of sense gratification. It means just I want to enjoy, and I do this. So just to enjoy myself. Then there is pranamoy platform or level of consciousness. It's extended sense gratification. It means that, well, I can see that together with some other people, if we can make some effort and we make things nicely, so we can enjoy together. So it's a kind of more, we get more pleasure out of that. So it means that, it's basically the level of morality that I'm a good person, and I behave nicely towards others, so that others are obliged to behave well towards me. So then I will be happy. So that's kind of more sense gratification. So that's also the platform of artha. Therefore, business world is based on that. I do something good for the other, but I expect something back for me, for myself. So this is platform of artha. Then there is platform of Gyanamoy, so it means platform of Dharma. It means that I follow the rules and regulations given by God just because it's my responsibility to do that. And sometimes if I don't get something back, it doesn't matter because it's just my duty. So it's platform of Dharma. And here also planet Earth, she addresses Prithu Maharaj, such as that he is the protector of religious principles. So this, and then there is Vigyanamoy. It means the platform of realizing that, like, going deeper. What is the meaning of all that? So it's the platform of, if you see Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, this is the platform of Moksha. And then there is the highest platform, which very nicely applies to devotees, and actually only to devotees it applies, because it's the platform called Anandamoy. And this is a transcendental level. It's when the first priority is actually Krishna. It's when devotees' satisfaction, Krishna's satisfaction is in the first place. So it means that in our devotional life we should also follow this, and that this is in the first place. So it means even that even if our duty, if we have to perform our duty, which is quite high platform, we don't expect anything to ourselves, we just do to satisfy Krishna, and if it doesn't bring satisfaction to Krishna, we can, or actually we should abandon this kind of duty, because it's not according to our philosophy, because it just doesn't please Krishna. As you see, there is an example in Mahabharata when Yudhishthira Maharaj, during the war of Kurukshetra, when Yudhishthira Maharaj was always truthful, and that's quite dharmic. That's religious principle, to be truthful. And he wanted, of course, to remain truthful, but at some point Krishna asked him, can you actually tell a lie? Can you say that Ashwadhama is dead? Ashwadhama was Dronacharya's son, and because Dronacharya was quite good at fighting, so they wanted him out of the fight. And this was the only way to tell him that his son is dead, that he would lose enthusiasm and stop fighting. So Krishna actually asked Yudhishthira Maharaj to tell a lie. So Yudhishthira was hesitant to do that, and you can understand why, because Yudhishthira, he always followed Dharma. He was also the son of Dharmaraj. So, and in that situation, that was the highest principle to follow, because Krishna wanted that. Of course, usually there are not so many examples of that, and that's why there is a recommendation to follow Dharma and perform our duties, but then in the highest consciousness to please Krishna, to please the devotees. So if there is something we need to do, it's just always remember this. Always think before, is it pleasing to Krishna? Is it satisfying for the devotees? Because this is the most important. Because otherwise, even if we are dharmic, but then we disregard devotees, we will get reaction for that. And actually, this level of Anandamoy, well, this is the highest, but then for human beings, it's said that the level of dharma, it is the first level which actually defines human being. Under that, there's just human being which is acting like an animal, because animals, they just see, well, I'm hungry, or, well, even they take care of their children, then still it's their own benefit they're looking for. So this is animal level. So we should at least be on the level of dharma, but never forget that the consciousness should be to satisfy Krishna. So in that connection, then what we do in our service, whatever service is that, so we can identify ourselves as being a Shudra or a Vaishya or a Kshatriya or a Brahmana, but then actually this is the secondary thing. It's just our media through which we express our devotion to Krishna. So it should not be our attention should not go towards that direction, but it should go towards the direction, well, I want to please Krishna, so what can I do? I have this skill and I'm good at that. So then we can do that nicely. And it said even in Bhagavad Gita it said that if somebody even performs his or her duties, there's always something wrong, because this is the nature of this material world. Something always goes wrong. Again, the example of Pandavas, they did everything right. There could not be anything which they didn't do according to the scriptures. They did everything. But still, you see, they had so many things in their life that somebody didn't appreciate them, well, Duryodhana, of course, and then they had to go to the forest. They had to suffer so much, but then still, you see, they didn't abandon this devotion to Krishna and their duty. So it goes together. Because we have to have some means, even if we, for example, we have a thought, well, I want to do something good for a devotee. So as Mother Earth, we all have our position, we all have our skills and our conditioning, what we can do, what we cannot do. So it's quite simple that we choose those things which we can do, and so we do them. Yes, so that's very important to remember. Do you have any questions? Yes?
How to not become like Mother Earth? So that Krishna only wants to kill us.
Yeah, well, yeah, so Mother Earth, she's a demigoddess, so her devotion is mixed. So our devotion in the beginning it's also mixed, and not to do that we have to because in the beginning we can make mistakes, so we should take shelter of senior devotees who can guide us. And if they see that we intend to do something silly, then they can say, well, well, you see, this is not so good, or you see, the consequence of this will do quite a lot of harm, so they can stop us. And of course, in the longer run, we should accept a spiritual master, because then we will have the connection. He will be in charge of us, so to say. And and of course, we should always think of this, that and we should also perform our duty. It's even if we do not do it devotionally, at least we will be pious, and piety can help us to progress. So if we do something sinful, it will draw us back, so it will be more difficult. So at least piety, and then because devotion is mixed, then we should always try to push ourselves forward. We should connect our all that we do, all our attachments to Krishna somehow. Even, well, we like to see movies, for example, and it's not so devotional, so to say. So it's our attachment. But then we can see that, oh, so what is the thing which I like in the movie? And, well, that excitement, well, depends on the movie, of course. If there's a horror movie, that we like the being scared. So we should see that this is also Krishna. So we should try to see the connection to Krishna. That the quality of this is Krishna. And gradually we will be more Krishna conscious. Like in the first place, in the beginning, we're like me, and then, well, Krishna. And then it's like me, and then Krishna. And then it's me, and Krishna. It's me, Krishna. And then it's like me and Krishna on the equal level, and then it will be Krishna in the first place. So until that happens, we should always be quite conscious that what we are doing is actually to please Krishna, and we should not be afraid to ask advice from the senior devotees, because otherwise we will be in so much trouble. And well, especially if we have some position, we even advanced devotees, if they have some position, they should still check themselves that, well, is this actually pleasing Krishna? They should check with other devotees who are more advanced than them, because otherwise it's Maya is so clever. She can make us think that we're doing the right thing, that we're Krishna conscious, we're very advanced. This is the thing about which I talked in the beginning, that I'm a devotee, I'm very advanced, and whatever I do is correct. It's like Krishna's blessing automatically, but then sometimes it doesn't happen like that. So we should take shelter. Some other question? Well, yeah, Krishna. But you see, yeah, that's true. You see, it's very complicated with demigods. that sometimes they're even sometimes the husband, well, not well, in this case the wife of the Lord, but still it's sometimes even that kind of persons make mistakes. But you had some other additional point to that, or okay, some other point or question? What is the time? Okay. You have something more to add, or then we'll end the class? Okay, so if you don't have anything more, then we will end the class. Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.